blaming white cops for the killing of black kids.
He didn't piss him off with this one.
Ho, 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 ho. Swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth. Put my hands on the Bible, y'all point me to the booth. Swear to tell the truth.
Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen and ladies, bro? So here we got Phillip Anthony Mitchell, who pissed off the BC black community, the melanated people, because of a statement that he made about teaching black children to obey authority. But before we get into this video, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bells. That way, you know, if anytime I go live, although I never do, I might hear in the near future or whatever, but post new content or whatever the case might be. That way y'all will be up to date. But without further ado, bro, let's do this.
Stop blaming white cops for the killing of black kids. Instead, teach your black children to be obedient towards authority. And I don't care if most of y'all are black. You need to teach your children to obey authority. We need to teach our sons and daughters to obey authority. We need to teach our children to not fight against authority, not fight against cops, not rebel. Be model citizens. Stop being rebellious towards authority. Be submitted to laws and ordinances. Stop parking in handicapped spaces unless you want a reason to park there. Pay your taxes and stop cheating on your documents. I'm gonna go deep. I'm about to get everybody mad. Stop bending your numbers. Watch. The Lord said, give back to Caesar what belongs to him. That is, be submitted to governmental authority. See, now watch. I see all of y'all looking at me. You know why you're looking at me like that? Because you don't read. After Jesus is resurrected, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. When I was 15 years old, I'm walking up Hollis. I'm walking down Hollis in Queens. And an Italian cop drove right by me. And I locked eyes with the cop, and we stared at each other, and he drove by. My ego and his ego. No cameras, no iPhones, no social media, no recordings. And then he says one word to me. Listen to what he says to me. Listen to what he says to me. He says to me, watch, say something. And in that moment, I hear the voice of my mom and my father. Son, obey authority. Son, respect your elders. Son, don't be in trouble out there with the police. Son, make sure you listen to people when they talk, and I can hear them blah, 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 blah. No. And in that moment, with that Glock pressed to my head, I got to make a decision. Either my ego is going to be strong, or my submission to authority is going to be stronger than my ego. And if I have not been taught to obey authority, and because I'm not saved, I'm separated from God now for all eternity by a cop's bullet. Why? Because my ego was stronger than my submission. I don't care. Stop blaming white cops for the kill.
Ooh, boy, you know the BC heated up behind that one. You victim blaming. You this, you that. Let's go look at the comments, man. See what a lot of them got to say in regards to it. Because you know they are going in. First and foremost, we are on Larry Reed's Instagram page. So you know his followers. Let me get that so y'all can see that. His followers are all the way black. First one that we see though, Dietrich Haddon, supposed to be gospel preacher or whatever he is, I don't know. So there goes the tap dance for the white man. Marissa Farrow, I'm assuming this is another important person in the gospel industry, possibly. I don't know. Not the authorities of the world, laughing emojis, no sir. And you had some people, bag out of there. You had some people in the comment section um, who was speaking the truth, who was taking up for him. You have this woman right here. Sorry, I'm trying to get this to where y'all can see it. There we go. She says, what he's saying isn't wrong. The Bible indeed teaches us the importance of self-control, especially in our speech. Proverbs 51 reminds us a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. Additionally, James 1:19 instructs us to be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. These scriptures emphasize that a controlled tongue can be the difference between peace and conflict. And she said more, but I'm gonna just leave it at that. But man, you scroll down the screen, man. See people calling him a coon, Uncle Ruckus. Again, there's a lot of people. I won't say a lot. Majority of the people are in disagreement. And you know the names that come with that. Uh, like I said before. Um, but it just goes to show that people can love you one minute and then they hate you the next, because at first we all know that this was the guy that everybody was, praising and glorifying and putting on a pedestal, and everything else, um until again he preaches something that goes against the mainstream narrative, so to say, or the black thought, let's say that. And now they want to hang you, and they want to crucify you. Just shows you how fickle people are. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I like a Lecraean. I'm Lecraean. I guess is what you can call it. It's a Lecrae saying. I just created a new word, Lecraean. But I like a saying that he always says: if you live by their acceptance, you will die from their rejection. Because again, people will love you one moment and then they hate you the next. They want you to do what it is that they want you to do. If I said that right, yeah. Um, Anything else outside of that is forbidden for a lot of people, especially within the BC that seems to be so very um, monolithic. But for me, and I have to be honest, um, he told not one lie in there. And speaking from my experience, because I learned that's the only thing you can truly speak from. Um, you know, kids being told that, people being told that is very counterproductive. It was for me anyway. Uh, telling telling a child that cops are out to kill them, or cops are out here killing us or black people, whatever you all want to say. For one, it makes you feel inferior. It makes you feel smaller than, you know. And then for two, it makes you you just like, why bother? Why do anything successful or try to contribute um to society if they want nothing to do with me anyway, you know? Um, and not only that, but that those two thoughts within itself, because it's so many more that can be added to it, but those two thoughts within itself can cause you to be rebellious. You kind of look at it like, well, if they out here to get me, then shoot, I'm gonna be the same way. Why respect what they got going on if they aren't going to respect me? And that that creates what we see today. That literally creates what we see today. The rap music today has become literally a byproduct of that. And when you got this person that's making $1 million telling young kids or telling people that it's okay to think this way, it's okay to be this way, it's okay to react this way, or rebelliousness should be the response to your thinking in this way, then you got what you got today. You know what I'm saying? And no wonder it's No wonder that rap music now is everywhere. They play it in kids' movies, but they'll say that they're not targeting kids or it's not for kids to listen to, but literally it's in almost all kids movies, you know. And I'm speaking of 4 or 5 year olds, like they starting out young. But people telling me that cops were out to get me or that cops are out here killing black people um just made me feel resentful and just made me feel bitter because of the thought process behind that. We have to understand that we we have to we have to see and we have to look at the results of that. Now, is everything fair in terms of, how people are treated or whatnot, whatever the case might be? And what I mean by is everything fair, has every, you know, um, put it like this: situations are nuanced. We can say that. Situations are nuanced. We can say what the cop should have done. We can say what this person should have done. But at the end of the day, I've never seen anything wrong with a person just complying and doing what the cops tell them to do. If anything was done wrong in that situation, then later we can come back and get this stuff situated. We can take this to the courthouse and sue or whatever the case might be. But at the end of the day, my goal, and I tell my children this the same way, and I don't tell my children that you're black and white and the cops are right to kill. I don't do that. I just tell them be respectful to authority. At the end of the day, respect your elders. Show respect and you'll give it. Yes, ma'am. No, sir. I mean, yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. Just be kind to people, be respectful to people, and they will be it back. Is that always the case? No, but 9 times out of 10, that is. And besides, the Bible said a gentle answer turns away wrath. But we have to see the result. We have to start looking at the results and the ways that we are thinking and ask ourselves, is it producing that in which we want to see? And if it's not, then we got to do something totally different. At least that's what I did. And I seen a whole different change. Now I want to bring up something because I spoke with my son about this. And I think that it's important for people to understand. I don't know how many of you all seen The Longest Yard, but um, if you do, then you know what specific part that I'm talking about and what part that I'm about to get at. But it was a situation with Nelly. Of course, we know he played in the movie Longest Yard movie with Adam Sandler. He was a professional NFL quarterback who ended up was drunk driving and ended up going to jail. And in that prison, and giving you, I'm I'm speaking you up to the part that I want you to get at because I don't want to get copyrighted for the video, but I'm gonna show you a little smidget of the video what I'm talking about. But anyway, y'all, if you seen it, y'all know what I'm getting at. But anyway, for the folks that haven't, I'm giving y'all the backdrop and the context. So anyway, Adam Sandler ended up going to jail. Um, the warden, the warden basically, I believe it was every year he did a football game against the inmates and the guards, and of course the guards would straight up uh pummel, thrash the inmates uh every year. But this specific or particular year, of course, they had an NFL quarterback, so it looked like that they had some chances, right? Um, and they did, because of the talent that was in there. The talent that was in there actually uh went well with uh Adam Sandler. So, the warden talked him into doing this game. And first he was saying, "No, I'm not doing it." Then the warden basically tried to put some blackmail stuff on him or whatever the case might be. Say, "You're gonna do it or else." You know how that go. Anyway, Adam Sandler was just like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'll do it. So they start the recruiting process. So in the midst of all of that, the guards the guards had ended up getting the spy to go back and forth to kind of inform them of how this team was building, how this team was looking, and things like that. And they start to begin to see that they was getting some serious uh players on the team where Nelly comes in at. So the spy, so the spy see how Nelly move, you know what I'm saying? He's a running back, super fast. He go to him and say, man, this guy's fast. So what the wardens had a plan to basically go and hurt this man so that he wouldn't play, or at least instill fear within him. And this was a targeted attack. And they meet him in the library. I don't know if I said that right. They meet him in the library.
Any books you'd recommend? Inmate?
No, sir. Not much of a reader.
Oh, come on now, maggot. I've seen you in here reading before. Well, you requested this detail, isn't that right?
Nah. It's quiet time I like, sir. Maybe you'd like to read this.
What the hell kind of bullshit book is that?
It's historical. Sir.
Now, why would he want to read a book about a four-eyed nigger? Does the N-word offend you, nigger?
No, sir.
Gentle answer turns away harsh wrath. And I hope I'm not butchering that scripture, but if not, that's a paraphrase. But after them constantly calling him a nigger and knocking down his books that he was getting from the library, them knocking it down constantly, and then calling him the N-word, calling him a nigger, he responded in a gentle way. And although they came there with malicious intent, they walked away angry and frustrated because he gave them no reason at all whatsoever to do that. Now, I'm not saying that's with every case, but I guarantee you, if we give people, and I'm not speaking on black and white police officers, I'm just speaking in general. If we give people no reason, just stop resisting, just go. If we give people no reason to cause us any harm, then I can guarantee you 100% that any harm won't come back to us. But we must be vigilant in those situations. We must listen. We must listen to live. Do anything and everything that we can. And I'm speaking on the way that I think. I can't speak on nobody. I can't speak on nobody else. I'm only speaking on the way that I think. Do everything that we can in our power to come out of this situation unscathed, unharmed, and alive, so that we can go home to our families. When I go into these situations, I don't go into these situations thinking that I can outsmart the cop or being defiant or being defensive. I don't go into these situations like that. I'm not the one with a gun on me, nor with a badge on me. The only thing that I think in these situations, if I really, let's just say for instance that I do fire off on the cop, pow, pow, pow. The result of that is going to be GTA. Let's say I get away. Grand Theft Auto. You know how the stars constantly pile up. It's not like, bro, you're not winning in that situation. You know, when you get to the 6 star in GTA, here come the tanks and here come the helicopter. You're not winning in this situation. And you know, in GTA, you can get hit by a barrage of bullets, and miraculously, CJ or the character, whoever he is, still running around, still on foot. And you know, in those situations, you can type in a little code and you get you a bazooka, or you get you a machine gun, or you can get you a tank, or you can get you a helicopter. This ain't that situation. You get hit by 1 or 2 bullets, you down, man. And you waste it. And there is no coming back to life. So, you know, when I enter those situations, that's just what I think about. I'm going to be compliant. I'm not resisting at all. I'm not defensive. I'm not angry at you. Even if you are angry at me, I'm gonna give you every reason not to be. If you're not the mature person in the situation, I will be, not for the sake of you and for the sake of you, but for the sake of me and my family, because I know that my family needs me and I love my life. You know, I'm doing everything that I can to put this fire out, and more so than that, to make this cop think that it's not a fire. Because I can only imagine what they deal with on a day-to-day basis, you know, dealing with unruly and defiant people, or not knowing if somebody is going to try to take their life, especially given the history of all that has went on, you know. So I'm looking to make their job easier, even if they aren't looking to do with me, because I'm not trying to give nobody a reason. And so, you know, I agree with the message because of the experiences, and because of and just simply because of understanding. You know, once you get older, you start to see things differently, and you just begin to realize that, like, a lot of stuff, like what can look like a L or a loss is really a win. It can be a silent win for you. Me being able to go home and be with my wife and my babies is all that matters to me, besides just trying to say, yeah, I stood up to him, I got over on him. Forget all that, bro. Forget up. People break the law every day. So even if I know my rights, we all seen there's legislation that has been passed to make certain laws ineffective. And so at the end of the day, this officer can break the law, or basically tell me in my face, F your rights, man. Get out the car and let me search your vehicle without any probable cause at all whatsoever. You know what I'm gonna do? Get out and let the man search my vehicle. Even if he plant something on me and say and say that this was on this man, blah blah, put him in handcuffs. I have I believe wholeheartedly in my heart that this is the purpose and the will of the Lord, and the Lord is going to see me through this process regardless of the outcome of it. That the Lord is going to be my vengeance in the situation. He's going to be my protection. He's going to bring justice, and he's going to do what he got to do in this situation, and I'm not going to worry about it at all. But yo, let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Go over to Imago Day shop, ImagoDayApparel.shop, and go get y'all some new merch featuring the new shirts that we got. He is risen. It's only for exclusive limited time for this month. So go over there, man, and copy something. But yo, peace, love. We out.
100, 100, 100, that's all I know. Ain't taking a dime off. We working, and that for sure. Ain't taking no time off. We serving, deliver hope. Forget all that crime talk. 100, 100, 100, that's all I go. Yeah, that be what I'm about.